My government will put into action our plan to build a stronger economy, to create new trading relationships with reliable trading partners.
The voice you just heard was of Prime Minister Carney talking about Canada looking for more reliable trading partners. Canada is signaling that it is time to rethink its trade strategy due to the ongoing tariff wars initiated by the United States. So why does it matter? Why does Canada, a country that has built one of the strongest trade relationships in the world with the United States, thinking to look for more reliable trading partners? Let's find out. Canada and the United States share the longest undefended land border in the world. It runs across 8,900 kilometers, spanning across different time zones. It is not just a geographical fact, but it is also the major reason why these two are really close trading partners for decades now. In 2024 alone, Canada exported 76% of its total goods to the United States. To put in dollar terms, it was close to $59 billion. As far as imports are concerned, 62% of Canada's imports came from the United States, valuing a total of almost $49 billion. Canada's second largest trading partner is China, but do you know the percentage of total export and import that Canada does with China? Only 4% of its exports and 8% of its imports are with China. So you can clearly understand why it is so important for Canada to have a good trading relationship with the United States. Let's also try and see what a tariff means. Tariff is a tax that is imposed by the importing country on goods that are imported. So let's understand how it works. Let's say Canada exports a car worth $100,000 to the United States. United States in turn imposes a tariff of 10% on that. So a car that was supposed to be for $100,000, with an additional tax of 10%, the price goes up to $110,000. Now, the American importer pays $100,000 to the Canadian manufacturer and 10% of that $100,000, which is $10,000, to the U.S. government. U.S. government got its tax, but the American importer paid 10% extra. And do you think he would pay that from his own pocket? 99% of the times, that is a no. He would then put it as a markup of 10% on the already marked up price that he was about to sell the car for. So let's say $100,000 worth of car he was about to sell for $150,000. Now the same car will be sold for $165,000. That same car became more expensive. Thus, tariffs increased the price of the car. Do you think if there is an alternate to an American buyer to buy a similar car for up to $150,000, he would go and buy a Canadian car which is for $165,000? No. Higher tariffs, higher prices, less demand of Canadian exports, and thus less exports. Less exports means fewer sales, fewer jobs, and a hit on the Canadian economy. Do you think Canada would sit back and relax? No. Canada would impose retaliatory taxes or tariffs on imports that it takes from United States. Surely Canada is more dependent on the US with regards to its trade, because while 76% of Canada's exports are to the US, only 17.6% of United States imports are from Canada. So you can understand Canada would be hit badly, but even United States would bear the brunt of this tariff war in the long run. So when the Canadian Prime Minister says that he's looking for more reliable trading partners, he's not wrong. But the catch is, it is not that simple. Why? Because international trade is not just about politics. It's more about logistics, cost, and time. You could have a truck from Toronto to New York in a day, or between east to west coast and back within a week. But if you want to transport goods like steel beams or log of woods or electronic items, so on and so forth, from here, Canada, to United Kingdom or China, it would not take only days but sometimes weeks as well. Second thing is that the trade route would not be through the road because Canada shares its border with only one country, United States. If you want to transport goods from Canada to any other country in the world, you would have to use the other two transportation ways, air or sea. While the sea route would be a little less expensive, it would take a hell lot of more time. And air route, well, you cannot transport everything through aeroplanes. So even if Canada wishes to reduce its reliance on United States for international trade, it will not happen overnight. Surely it can happen, but it would take time. That said, Canada can build for the future. How? By slowly expanding trade relationships with other countries, signing better trade agreements, improving its port structure, building more industries in Canada itself would be a great start. Of course, it would not be easy. There are rules and regulations which delay the establishment of such industries. But with the right political will and timely decisions, this can definitely take place. Another thing that we can do is reduce the tariffs that Canada has within itself, which means more easy inter-provincial trade between different provinces in Canada, trying to simplify tax laws and having to do more with internal trade rather than just relying on external trade for economic growth. This is the only way to ensure that Canada is not left vulnerable every time United States tries to play a hardball. Also, we can think of improving our trade relation with the United States. Let's just hope cooler heads prevail before this tariff war wages into a full-time international trade war and hampers the growth of both countries. So, for such topics, please stay tuned to my channel and I'll be discussing more such informative topics for your knowledge. Thank you. Stay tuned.